Hi, sorry I'm late this week with the video. Part of the reason is I, had so many ideas on Monday of things that I actually wanted to talk about, and I didn't want to make it just a discussion about what's going on with me. The problem was I didn't write any of that stuff down, and I think what I need to start doing moving forward is have, some videos are going to be just like this one, where I'm just talking to you and kind of giving you an update on where I'm at in my situation and what's going on with my life and little nuggets of information. But then some of them, I really do want them to be about the challenges that you face, when you're in school and you've gone back to school and you've either got friends and family around you or not around you, or you're doing it alone, or you're doing it with 100 other people, or whatever your situation is. So I'm going to actually try moving forward to do some outlines and kind of hang on to them. I get a lot of really good ideas from my women friends about things to talk about. And, for me, I've had my own challenges, this past week. Nothing negative. Challenges with wrapping up the associates and what I want to do for next year as far as school and how to pay for it. And so I just want to share a couple key things that have come up this last week. One of them is, as you all know, I have put off my math class now until the very end. And part of the problem with that now is, in order for me to take a math class through the college, I actually have to go back and take the assessment exam again. Doesn't seem like a big deal, does it? Unless you no longer live in Texas and you're attending a Texas school. Now, the reason is 13 years ago when I took the assessment, it's now become outdated. And in addition to that, when I took the assessment 13 years ago, I didn't score high enough to take a math class. Hard to believe, since that time, I've spent 12 years in banking. Different financial situation, but it is sort of ironic if you think about it. So now I'm in a situation where I have to take the exam. I come here to Arizona. I finally am like, look, I'm like 2 classes, literally. Once I finish the classes I'm in today, I'm 2 classes from getting my associates, which is really what I need to finish to pursue on to the bachelor's. So it's really exciting, but I put myself between a rock and a hard place. So I finally talked to the school. They finally send me a form. I can get a test proctored here in Arizona, or quite frankly anywhere, but since I happen to be in the Phoenix area, that makes sense. And I find out today that the only places that will proctor an exam here in the Phoenix area are the community colleges or ASU. ASU is a real pain in the neck to get to, but that's neither here nor there. The community colleges here, well, here's the caveat. So I get the note, I get the form, right? I'm supposed to fill it out and sign it. The proctoring station fills it out and signs it, and it has to be notarized. My college in Dallas is requiring a notary signature. Doesn't seem like it'd be a big deal, does it? So the community college system here, which does all the proctoring, they don't have notaries on their campuses. And when they do, they view that as a legal document, and then now my agreement that they're going to proctor my exam has to go to their legal department. Is this not insane? So that left me with ASU. ASU hadn't gotten back to me on whether they had a notary or not. So I was joking around with my friend Melissa that, quite frankly, I should use some of my Southwest miles and just get on a plane and go to Dallas for the day and do the exam. Quite frankly, I thought that would be cost prohibitive, or there wouldn't be a reasonable flight to go. I am a broke college student. I don't have money. I have miles. I don't always want to use them, but I have them. So turns out for 2,000 miles each way, I can fly in and out of Dallas on a Wednesday, get there in plenty of time, jot my little hiney over to the school, take the exam, meet with my advisor, get everything wrapped up, and then catch a plane at dinner time and fly back to Arizona. That's what I'm doing. Believe it or not, it is insane that that's what I'm doing. But not only did it turn out to be cheaper, $11 to fly because I have the miles, but even if I'd had to pay for the flight, just as a side note, even if I'd had to pay, the flight was only $88 round trip, Phoenix to Dallas Love. that's like a smoking deal. If you've traveled at all, you completely can appreciate the fact that how cheap that is. I have to pay, should I have been able to get the test proctored at ASU, the exam fee was $40. So why not just use my miles that's free, fly there for the day, spend $40 on the rent car if I choose to do a rent car. I'm probably not going to, but I mean, I looked that up too. It was like $35 for me to rent a car, and it's still cheaper than me to spend the time and the effort to drive across town and spend the money to take the exam at ASU. And by the way, they may not even have a notary to sign the form I need. And I'm getting up against a deadline here that I may actually, if I can score high enough on the exam, I could actually take my math class in the flex session of December, along with my Spanish. And people, y'all, I could have my associates in January, and how exciting would that be? I'd finally have these first 2 years done with. So, December 7th, I'm in Dallas for the day, hanging out at Richland College, taking the exam, meeting with the advisor, and I'll probably end up with some extra time so I can use the time to study and whatnot. It really doesn't matter. I just think it's completely silly. But on the other hand, obviously I meant to do that because it worked out really, really well. So it's kind of exciting. So something else that, I'm always talking about our resources and our support system. And I have constantly felt really good that I've had such a really great support system as far as you can do this and you can stay with me, or do what you want to do. We'll help make it work. We believe in you. And I had someone say to me, a family member actually offer to pay my tuition for spring semester, or actually these remaining classes to wrap up my associates. And once she offered that, I was so grateful. It took so much weight off my shoulders because I am a broke college student. I don't have any money, and I've yet to have to take out any student loans, and I don't want to. And I'm also in a situation that I don't really want to get into, but ideally, student loans are pretty much off the table for me unless I absolutely have to. And so I have been stretching that as far as possible. So having people that help or give you ideas or do things or let you stay with them, while that can be stressful staying in someone else's house, it can also be, they're in a partnership with you. They wouldn't let you be there if they didn't want you there and believe in you. And in turn, you can offer them support. I'm staying with my friend Melissa in Arizona, in Scottsdale, and I feel very lucky. I'm able to stay in a really nice place. And I feel like she is so supportive of what I'm doing that it allows me to have a clear mind to work on my projects and my things, and then in turn to try to be there and be supportive for her. She's got several extraneous things going on in her life that I just feel it allows me to be able, if nothing else, when I stop talking, to listen to her and try to be helpful to her. Something else that happened this week is I have another friend of mine, one in Montana, and we were talking a little bit, just messaging back and forth about, what you want to be when you grow up or what you want to reinvent yourself to, and finding your passion and what we're good at. And I've had this conversation with my friend Melissa as well, and off and on over the years with other women. There are some of us out there that while we enjoy certain things or we're good at certain things, it's not a deep passion for us. And we can't identify it. And that's okay. I don't believe that every person has to have some all-being passion, that you follow your dream. But my friend Rhonda asked me, what I thought she would be good at. And I've known her since high school, but I have not spent a lot of time with her one-on-one. Years have separated us, and we've gone our different ways, and we've sort of come back and be good friends now, I like to think. And I owe her a response because I told her I was in the car at the time and I was thinking about it, and she sort of laughed. And, I've been thinking, if you watch this, Rhonda, I have been thinking about it because I don't know what she would be good at. Not because I don't know her, but because I think we have to reach so deep inside ourselves to analyze that. My first gut reaction to her was do your dream board or your dream piece of paper. Meaning, you know, when we were kids, or you were always visualizing. I had a lot of projects when I was in elementary school where you had to cut out stuff in magazines you liked and you put it on a paper, you put your name on it, and they didn't call it a dream board back then, but just stuff you liked, you know, and then you take it home and, you know, maybe you had something for food or a pretty picture of a girl, or if it was a boy, there was cars, or whatever that was that we were identifying in second grade, okay? I've done many versions of that the last 5 to 6 years. Sometimes it's writing in a list. Sometimes it's evaluating pros and cons of my job, just sort of identifying what I like to do, what I think I'm good at. Sometimes what we're good at isn't really what we want to do. You know, I was good at banking. It's not necessarily what I want to do. I can be really good at, well, probably a lot of different things. It doesn't mean any of them are what I want to do. And it doesn't mean I may end my life and never have had a passion that drove me to art or music or, you know, to be CEO of a company, you know. And so my thought for Rhonda was, you really should, you know, stop thinking about what you should do, or maybe even what someone else thinks you're good at. Just don't even look at what you're good at. Because sometimes I think that gets in the way. We get good at something because we're 50 years old and we've done something for 25 years. My friend Linda's a wonderful attorney. She's done it forever. She's good at that. You know, my brother is a musician and he has done that his whole life. It's been a bit of a passion for him in his case, but he's good at it too. It's not just a passion. He's good at it. But so he follows that. My friend Linda's good at being an attorney. I've talked with her. I think she likes that. I think she would always probably do that. You know, I don't know if she has another passion or dream she would change. But just because we're good at something, you know, my friend Melissa is good at accounting. She's a great CPA. You know, she flushes out the numbers. She's a rule follower. You know, she's great at that. She doesn't have a passion for that. She would probably change and do something else in a heartbeat. So let's stop looking at what we're good at and look at what's interesting to us. You know, that's partly why I'm getting my degree now. I kind of woke up and said, yeah, I'm good at this, but it gives me no satisfaction. So I worked really hard to get debt-free so that I could take a job making less money, or be in a situation like I'm in right now where, yes, I am broke and with very little reserve, if any, and I'll be starting over. But I can start over at a different level now. I don't have to go back and be stuck because I have all this overhead that's making me, you know, have to be in a certain situation. So it's a long way of saying to my sweet friend that I genuinely believe that we need to stop looking at what we're good at. Let's look at what interests us and what we enjoy. I am an operational person. I am really good at looking at the big picture. And I actually enjoy that. I don't know that I enjoy that in banking or finance. I enjoy that in construction. I enjoy that in development. I enjoy that in looking at teams and structure of business somewhat. But I also really like my freedom, the freedom I've come to get used to between my job change this past year and just what I'm doing now. So I also, you know, need to see how that fits. So for her, I would say, we know what you're good at. You're bang up at what you've been doing for 30 years. If you weren't, people wouldn't keep hiring you to do it. You have the skill set. But what interests you? You know, and maybe there for all of us, most of us, I think that there are pieces of our job that we've done, whether in the past or today, that you can look at your resume and take a highlighter and say, I liked doing that. I liked doing that. I liked doing that. Oh, I loved that. You know, I loved travel. The one thing I loved in my bank job was when I traveled. Not only was I traveling, I was going to job sites and working with the construction people and working with, a team to make something happen. Ooh, I loved that. Doesn't mean I have to be in banking. It just means that's something I loved. So I would tell her to go back to her resume. Highlight the things you liked doing or loved from that. Then set that aside and get out a blank piece of paper and think about your day. Think about last weekend. Think about what you did the last time, when you were laughing the last time or smiling, what were you doing? Were you hiking? Were you helping others? Were you putting a party together? Were you working in a totally different job? And if you were, what was it about that job? Were you volunteering or doing something that was outside your normal job routine? Take that resume and what you've highlighted, take that handwritten list, and that's your answer. That's not only probably what you are good at, too, in a weird way. I know, see, it loops back around, because we're good at everything. We're probably good at everything on our resume, but we're probably really good at those things we highlighted because we like them so much. And then look at that list that you hand wrote and make them the list together and say, what does that mean? And some people get stuck. They don't know. They're like, I don't know. I got, these 5 things over here, and I got these 5 things over here. Okay, put them on the list together. Now go find a job that has those things in it. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. You got to research the internet. You got to look at job sites. You have to look for buzzwords. Come on. Do we even have the time sometimes to be on the internet to search all these things? Not every day, but it's a process. I didn't just wake up and quit my job one day and so I could go back to school. I have been doing this for almost 2 years already. Actually, in December, it's actually been 3 that it's been taking me to get my associates because I worked full-time until this year. So basically for almost 2 years, I was taking a class here, taking a class there, figuring out what I liked, what I didn't, get debt-free. To some people, they see these videos and they see what I'm going through and they're like, wow, she just up and did it. Oh, come on. This has been going on forever. That's why I'm so anxious to get on with it. That's why I was so ready to be done. Quit the job, take the leap of faith. I posted something, I think, on the website, something about your fear. And the truth is, we're afraid a lot. And I'm not going to get into anything political, but what I will say is there is probably more general fear in the atmosphere today than there was a week ago when I did my video. But our fear prepares us to be stronger and braver and better and look ahead and cast out the demons in our own head, which is usually our own negative voice. So get rid of your negative voice and move forward. For some of you, that is going to be going back to school, and that's what this is about. And I want you on my journey the whole way. I want to be on your journey too. But for some of you, like my friend, I don't know that she wants to go to school, go back to school or go to school for the first time. She might not have any desire to do that. She has a desire to change. I know this. I've talked to her. And when I mean change, not who she is as a person, but the direction she's going in. She's like a lot of us, myself included. We just want something different for the next 40 years of our lives. We're all going to live, God willing, and for a lot of us, a lot longer than our parents even, and our grandparents. So, we're all about the change now, the change of doing something different, giving back, finding a passion, finding what we're good at, finding what makes us happy, waking up every day and being, yeah, today's a good day. I wrote by the pool. I worked on a project that was 2 years old, and it's getting really exciting now, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So for her, get out the resume, highlight those things that the resume and that you're good at. Get out your other piece of paper and write down the things. Maybe they're long lost dreams. When I was 18, I wanted to be a flight attendant. Do you know that a flight attendant at our age, we can still get hired on, by the way. And if I considered being a flight attendant, while the first training would be challenging, if I actually got on, it would be very easy to finish my degree with their schedule, with my online school and their schedule, and still give me the travel benefits that I want. Kind of seems like a win-win. The only downside for me is Do I want that much customer-facing job? Because I think I've said in some videos before, I really am not a big fan of the whole in-your-face, angry customer all the time. So my point about that story, briefly, and I may bring that up in a future video, is when you're writing down your handwritten list that's not the jobs you've done or the education that you've had, go back and think, what did I always used to want to do? You know, when I was 16, walking the halls of Bozeman Senior High, or wherever you grew up, what did I want to do? You know, and write it down. It may seem silly and it may mean nothing, but it's writing it down. It's the process of writing it down that matters, because you see it visually. And then you can go research it if it might stay on your list. What was the other thing? I loved riding horses, and I haven't ridden a horse and I can't tell you how long. I loved being outdoors. I didn't really love the winter, but I did love being outdoors. Those are just examples, you know. Maybe you love being with your family all the time. Maybe you don't ever want to be around your family. Maybe you love running errands. Maybe you love driving the car. Maybe you like sitting at the coffee shop for 20 minutes every day or 30 minutes to have a cup of coffee and just sit quietly and look at people around you with your headphones in. There's no right or wrong answer. It's about you. You know, what makes you happy on that list? What were your dreams when you were younger that you maybe forgot about? And maybe you didn't have any. And if you didn't have any, that's okay. No, not everybody has to have the be-all, end-all situation. Just write it down. I tell people, I've told close friends this, and I've asked them, if you could wake up tomorrow and be doing anything beyond winning the lottery and doing nothing, because everybody always defaults to the money answer, but literally wake up tomorrow and be doing something that fascinates you, interests you, and you don't even have to be skilled to do it. Take all the negative and the blanks away. What would it be? You know what I'd be doing? I'd be getting on a plane to go somewhere because I love to travel. Love it. I'd be taking my laptop. I'd be doing school. I'd like to find a way to make some money doing that too. And I will. I'm not ready to leap. I've had some offers to do some things. Those haven't really been quite the good fit for me. And that's not what this is about. This is about you, my dear friends, and those strangers that are watching. Make your list. It's not about passion. It's about just finding out who you are. And we have the opportunity now to do whatever we want. There are no constraints except those in our mind. So, message me, email me, text me, post a comment, whatever you want, because we're going to do this. We're going to do this together. I am going to tell you how things are going with the exam for math, for English. As a side note, I have B's in both my current classes, and it's physical anthropology and my Texas government, so things are on track with school, so not a lot to report there today. You know, I kind of feel like coming next week, I'm going to have some more answers for you on some other things going on, and I'm really, really interested. If you have suggestions or ideas or topics or need help on something, just ask. You know, post a comment or private message me or do whatever you need to do. And I would ask genuinely, I've been working on the scholarship program for Fly Higher, and I would really, really ask that you share the Facebook page with all your friends. I would ask that you share YouTube videos. You know, if there's one in particular you like, please share it with your friends and family. Encourage people to like my page, because together we're going to fund that scholarship all of next year, and we're going to send some people to school. Not me. My money's got to come from somewhere else. But under Fly Higher After 30, we're going to fund the scholarship and send people to college on our money together and help support those dreams. So a little bit at a time, but we're going to do it. So have a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday. Sorry if this gets rambling. You know, I get on a high horse and I just want to say it, but love my women friends. You've all been absolutely wonderful, and I'll message you if I promised I would. You have been in my thoughts, even if I haven't. I wanted to come up with the right answer. So have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I will talk to you all next week. And again, share it, post it, believe in it, and believe in you. We got this.